Hello there, this is Beth with another Froud's Fairy card. And we are on card, what is it, 16? The Bright Mother. And let me see, we're entering into, he breaks it up actually. So, yeah, he breaks Lady Harvest. And then the Dark Lady. We're kind of in, so we start with the Maiden for the feminine. Then we do the Journeyman, which is kind of magician-y. Then we go into the Bright Mother, which would, because he breaks it up into 4 aspects of the divine feminine as opposed to the 3, which I think works really well in this deck. And this would be the second aspect of the divine feminine, the Bright Mother. And she's kind of that point. She's the what's the word I'm looking for? She's kind of the nurturing fertility aspect. She's before the harvest, though. She's that aspect of bringing in nurturing, of bringing in of intimacy, shelter, of perfection in imperfection, of that you don't need to fix yourself so much. It's always such a hard thing to explain, because it's like, a lot of people are like, everyone needs work when you say you're perfect in your perfectness. Yes, we do. But at the same time, there's a way to go about that work that creates an inner intimacy, that shelters yourself, that nurtures, that is compassionate, instead of just plowing down everything. I used to be very much a plow it down kind of girl and break down those barriers and destroy it. And over the last couple of years, I've become much more of how the Bright Mother would do it. She's not gonna get her sledgehammer out and break down that wall and force that whatever you're changing to happen. She's gonna nurture it. She's going to feed it care and love to see what happens. She is very much the nurturing mother aspect of the divine feminine in this deck. And she really brings in, I'm having brain cramp this morning. It's because I'm filming in the morning and not in the afternoon. She's also that point of, like, sometimes that point where you do have to set yourself aside at times and take care of other people, take care of other business, and put what you need to be on hold. This is not a denial of self. It's a fact of life. This is the fact of parents. This is the fact of caregivers. This is the fact for anyone who may be dealing with their own problems, but someone else's more needs. So you go help them first. You put aside your issues to help someone else. So she has that aspect in there too, very much the mothering, nurturing aspect, but she is also not a denial of self. She knows that you need to recognize that, yes, there are times where you have to set aside your own desires and put someone else first. But you can't deny your own nurturing, your own caring within that, which can be very difficult when you have young children or you are the primary caregiver to someone who is extremely ill or disabled. That can be very difficult to do. Yeah, it comes down to nurturing a lot for her, of how can you nurture her? How can you bring this energy, the positive energy of the Divine Mother in? Because when you start to shut down the nurture compassion aspect of the Bright Mother, you get kind of that smother mother, if you will. The one who's like, oh no, I can't, you must do it my way. You can't do it your way. It's like, no, I am so in control that you are not allowed to do anything other than what I'm telling you to do. And you don't allow on yourself the freedom to be yourself, and to others to be the freedom to be themselves. So you smother not only them but you at the same time. And usually when you start to see this mother come out and be very controlling, look at how you're receiving. Are you having problems receiving things in your life? Whether it's a simple compliment of, hey, thanks, that was a good meal. Good cook. You look good today. And you're like, start, those simple things can be a good indicator at how you're actually receiving what's coming to you from the universe, how you're accepting a compliment, how you receive information from other people. Are you always on the defensive about it? Because the mother aspect does have an aspect that can be extremely destructive. Not all mothers are good mothers. There are animals out there. There are mothers out there. In the wildlife kingdom, granted not the human kingdom, I hope, that do eat their children. You do have sows that will eat their children. You'll have rats and mice who will eat their children. And we're talking the female, not the male. It's usually much more common in the male for a male to destroy offspring, especially if it's not their offspring. And also there's other whole other biological things we're not going to go into. This is what happens when you study anthropology and you start looking at other species and then you apply that kind of stuff to how we work. When you're kind of in that smother mother mode, it's a destructive mode of self. And oftentimes too, you can get that overgiving aspect coming in, which in tarot would kind of play in with, like, say, a Queen of Cups, that overgiving, nurture, burn yourself out kind of chick or guy, of who's overgiving and keeps giving and giving and giving and never takes the time to nurture themselves. And that goes back to, even when you're having to be that person who sets yourself aside, you still need to feed yourself. You still need to feed your inner soul. And the Bright Mother is reminding us that when we stop receiving the gifts of the universe, when we stop letting things flow and we try to control it so much that all we're doing is squashing it down, things kind of get icky and aren't fun and go wrong. Because we're not letting what we need in. We're not letting ourselves love ourselves. We're not letting ourselves love other people the way we need to love them. So why she has all this yumminess to her that is so, feels so good when you're in there and when you're willing to shelter, create intimacy with you and other people, when you're perfect in your imperfectness and allowing yourself to give your all to your life and enjoy it and receive. That's when she's really in her really juicy yumminess. But, watch out for that other aspect of her that's not so fun, that holds you back, that doesn't want to let you go, doesn't want to let anyone go, smothers it. Remember, juicy yumminess, that feeling of, oh yes, I can help you. I can receive. I can change and nurture. I can decide what needs to be kept, what needs to be morphed, what needs to be growing more. And that's where the true beauty of the Bright Mother comes in. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back next month with card 17, and I think, that's himself. One of my favorites. Okay, bye-bye.